Hi everybody, welcome to Transformation Tuesday. This is Cecile Ahrens with Get Mental. Hopefully you guys can see me okay. The lighting's kind of funky right now, I think, but we're live, so we're gonna just roll with it. How are you guys doing? First of all, I just want to say I'm thinking about everybody. You know, it's kind of tough to be a human right now with everything that's going on, and for those of us who live in the United States, you know, we have just been told that we need to shut most things down again. School's not resuming on-campus learning, so you know, I'm feeling some of my own stuff as a human being right now with everything that's going on. So I'm thinking of you. My heart's with you. If you're feeling some things, if you're feeling, you know, overwhelmed, anxious, sad, angry, frustrated, you know, you want to just kind of check out or numb out, I just want to validate that this is a tough time for a lot of us on the planet and in the country, especially because of all the things that are going on. So I don't want to be, you know, seem out of touch, because the July campaign is all about talking about money. And, you know, it can be kind of ironic and counterintuitive to talk about that when there's a lot of, you know, things that are going on in our country, and there's also a lot of economic instability going on. So this show is by all means not to be insensitive to that, but it's really to, you know, give you guys, again, hope and a different perspective, okay? So we're going to continue on with July's topic. Hi, Melissa. Thanks for watching. Tell Noah I said hi. So is money the root of all evil, right? So first of all, let's talk about where that came from. It came from a scripture in the Bible. I don't specifically know exactly what scripture, but and basically it's the verbiage is that the love of money, you know, is the root of all evil. Something to that effect. So let's just demystify the statement once and for all. The love of money itself can be evil or unhealthy or dysfunctional if you are obsessed with it, if you are pursuing it at all costs, if you are unhealthily attached to it, if you are, you know, okay with harming others, taking advantage and exploiting other people in the pursuit of it. That's what makes it evil. Money itself is not evil, because money is an object. It has no feelings, no thoughts. It doesn't know really what it is. It's people who are using it or misusing it that make it evil. So it's not money per se that's evil, it's us, right? It's our intention and it's our agendas and our motivations that make it evil, okay? But I'm also going to call it unhealthy or dysfunctional, because in my world, that's what we call it. So that's when you know that you're in an unhealthy pattern, right? But there is nothing wrong with wanting financial stability, wanting financial success. In fact, there's a huge relationship and intersectionality between our mental health and our financial health. So our financial health, as far as I'm concerned, is mental health. Like, it's hard to not feel, you know, bad, depressed, stressed out, anxious, overwhelmed when you feel financially insecure, because that does a lot of things to our bodies, to our minds, to our psyche, to our spirit. So again, I'm going to keep bringing that point home, okay? So the things we can control, especially right now, especially for those listening who are feeling worried about their future, maybe your job's kind of on the line, you're stressed about money, you haven't been able to work, I am thinking of you. I really am. And please reach out to your support network. If you don't have a strong support network, please seek the help of a counselor, a pastor, a therapist. You know, if you still have some kind of benefit, if you have Medicaid, Medi-Cal, please reach out, because you are not alone. And sometimes the first step is to seek the support and to talk about your difficulties, okay? I'm such an optimist. I'm such a believer in possibility and positivity. And I really do believe in the power of the human spirit, even at our darkest times, that there are still very good, nice, kind, beautiful people out there who want to help you and support you. Okay, so please, please, please take that advice to heart. So what can we control, especially during a time when there's so many things that we don't have control? And as it relates to money as well, right? We can control our attitude. We can control our work ethic and how hard we work. We can control the way we take care of ourselves. Why is that important? Because self-care is like your oxygen. You need it in order to sustain you for the work ahead of you, for the fight, for the pursuit of, you know, the goal that you're going for. You also need humility. What do I mean by that? You know, have you ever heard of the term feedback, not failure? Meaning when things aren't working out, it's not always failure. It's feedback. And just that shift in mindset can be the difference that you need. Meaning, be humble enough to learn from why what you're doing hasn't worked, right? In relationships, in careers, money, investments, generally just in life. You know, if something's not working out, it behooves you to ask the question, what can I learn from this? And what can I do differently? Because the universe is giving you feedback, right? It's not necessarily failure. It's giving you feedback, okay? And for those of you who have a strong spiritual orientation, like myself, you know, I believe that God has my back. So if things aren't working out, you know, even though I may not fully understand it yet, or I'm butthurt about it, and sometimes I tell God, like, I'm mad at you. Like, how did you let this happen? You know, once I'm done with all of that and I get into my humility, I then can be open to the lessons that that experience really is trying to teach me, okay? So the things we can't control is our environment, meaning, for example, COVID-19, you know, the shutdown, the shelter-in-place orders, schools not providing on-campus learning, all of that stuff we don't have control over. We don't have control over a company wanting to lay off people or a company not doing well in business, right? So there's all these things that can affect our financial stability and wellness, right? So for people who have invested in stocks, you know, here you are thinking, I'm preparing for my future, right? And I'm doing all the right things, and then the crash market isn't doing so hot. And so here we are, right? So those are some of the things we definitely don't have control. And it's important to understand that in life, we are always going to have those factors. We are always going to have those factors that we cannot control. And part of living our life and living it successfully is to start to have an acceptance of those factors, because full control is an illusion. Okay, I'm going to repeat that. Full control is an illusion. And so as I'm thinking about how to talk to you guys about this topic, I thought about, you know, similarities in the qualities of people that I know personally, professionally, and just, you know, if you look at like the broader popular culture, what are the qualities that create success? So this is I have the 4 C's. Here it is, okay? Clarity and purpose. Clarity and purpose, okay? Commitment to your goal. Creativity and courage. So I'm going to go through that one by one. Clarity and purpose means you are clear enough, okay? It doesn't have to be super duper clear, but clear enough to take a chance on yourself and to take the first step or the next step towards that goal. So let's bring it back to money. If you are trying to make a little bit more money or put yourself in a financially healthier place, if you're clear enough with that desire, you are in a position to take action, okay? Now, the second thing is commitment. You have to commit to it. You can't be like, passive, maybe, I just hope, you know, and pray about it and hope that just all of a sudden the universe just drops it on your plate. Well, there are those times when the universe kind of works that way. But most of the time, the universe, God, the divine energy, however you want to perceive this higher power, will also take your lead. Okay? So, there's a saying, God doesn't give you what you're not ready for. So you have to be committed enough to go for it. And you'll be surprised kind of what happens when you start this process. And for people who have been, very focused and doing their work, and I know for some of you listening, I know that you have, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know that feeling of like, you open up your energy, you start taking action, and you start attracting people, places, and things to support what it is you're going for, whether it's for the good or for the not so good, okay? So commitment to purpose. Creativity, what do I mean by that? And right now we're all being forced to be creative. What I mean by that is adaptability, flexibility, being able to think outside the box, being able to, move, roll with the punches and navigate and move through these changes with innovation. So, for example, yesterday when I found out that school wasn't providing on-campus learning, I was crushed. I was like there was like a moment when I was just so frozen because I was thinking about how am I going to do all of this? My clients a lot of my people I support are hurting and needing a lot of support. And I know that I'm going to choose my son over my job or my career. But, there was a moment there where I was really torn. And creativity is what started kicking in for me of like, okay, let's think about solutions. Let's think about options. So I started writing down option 1. Here's what we can do. Option 2, option 3. So, that's what it can look like when we're in a creative mode. And all of a sudden, I started feeling okay. I started feeling more empowered. I started feeling like, all right, I'm back to that. We can do this. We can do this, right? You're more hopeful again. So that's what I mean by creativity, okay? And then courage. So courage, guys. Courage is having fear and doing it anyway, okay? I'm going to repeat that. Having fear and doing it anyway. It's not about not having fear, anxiety, self-doubt. Because especially if you're new to a pursuit, you're going to feel those things. And it's normal. It's because you care about the goal. It's because you're still, building your confidence. And so let it be there. Let it be there. But move from a place of courage. Choose courage anyway. So I tell the folks I support, don't wait for like anxiety and fear not to be there. That's not really realistic. As a matter of fact, it's going to continue to be there until you are, you've mastered some skills and you've been in the game long enough to get the confidence. Confidence isn't just going to come because you think you can do it. That's part of it, right? But your confidence and what we call self-efficacy, meaning this belief that I can do it, grows with practice. Just think of athletes, who had to like show up every day for their craft. And that's how they got better. Even though maybe they already had the initial set of talent, that's not enough. You need to keep showing up and being courageous every day and, learn from the feedback that you're getting from the world and adapt and assimilate and try again. Okay, so the 4 C's: clarity and purpose, commitment to your goal, creativity, and courage. And that's what can help you in your pursuit of money, which is really, when people are pursuing money, it's not just because they want money. Money symbolizes safety, stability, freedom, autonomy, a sense of personal power. So that's not evil, okay? That is not evil. We all want that. And it doesn't mean you have to be sinful about it. It doesn't mean you have to harm others to get it. So that's kind of my answer to that. It is not the root of all evil. And again, financial health is mental health. Financial health is mental health. Poverty is not good for anybody. It affects us on a cellular level, like I've said many times. It actually changes the brain. It helps, children's brain development is affected by poverty. So we all can help each other out in this pursuit for more financial stability and wellness. You know, I'm not talking about, you know, being a Bill Gates or an Oprah Winfrey. I'm talking about being financially stable so that you can feel empowered enough to pursue other goals, right? Because when we're not worried about our survival, our basic survival, it gives us the power to think bigger and dream bigger and do more, okay? Plus, I also want to point out that some of the richest people in the world have done so much good for society because of their wealth. Think of the Bill Gates Foundation. Think of Oprah Winfrey. You know, that kind of wealth has the power to completely change a country like Africa, to completely change generations after generations after generations of people, right? To completely eradicate a disease, to have vaccines. You know, this is what we're in the middle of right now with COVID. If we don't have all this money and wealth, how are we going to afford to find a cure for a pandemic? So we need money. Money's on our side. It's us who make it evil, okay? So I cannot stress that enough. Go for it, you guys. Go for it. Go for it. Be who you want to be. But you have to be willing to work hard, to be humble enough, take the feedback, okay? And learn the skills you need to learn to get there. Because dreaming about it ain't enough, okay? It's not about just thinking about it. You can do it. You have to show up every day. Persistence, persistence, persistence. So the other thing I want to say before we end, thank you so much for listening, is that we all have a social responsibility as well. You know, that when you have something material, I believe we have a social responsibility to help other people. So that's the other reason why money is not evil or the root of all evil, okay? Because if your heart is in the right place, you are in a position to help someone else in need, whether it's your time, whether it's, you know, a piece of item you have, whether it's a small donation, you know, whether it's whatever it is, you can be that for that person, okay? And also, I want to acknowledge that there are real systemic issues that prevent a lot of people, especially minority groups, you know, that's Black, Asian Americans, you know, Native Americans, for example. Statistically, we're known to be poor, have more kind of what's called inequality, you know, poor access to care and so forth. I agree. I believe most of that, but I'm also, because I have a different lived experience, I'm also going to say that if you have enough opportunity, if you have resources, that's, you know, enough resources, right? Enough to have the books, enough, you know, people that believe in you, you can transcend. You can overcome. I do not believe in that narrative that just because, you know, you come from this group and that group, you came from the projects, whatever, the hood, that you can't come up. Because I know it's harder, okay? I'm not negating that. I'm not trying to be political here. I'm trying to inspire hope because I know firsthand what that's like. Now, if I stayed in the Philippines, my circumstances would be completely different. A completely different life. That's because there's limited opportunity and resources. So that's where the systemic thing, you know, can be impactful. But in the United States of America, we have opportunity and we have resources. So now we have a real choice. And I know some people might misconstrue what I'm saying here. Okay, again, I'm not trying to be political. I'm not trying to be insensitive to any race or class or group. But at the end of the day, we have to take personal and full responsibility for our lives when it comes to things we cannot control. Right? You can try to affect change and social change over here. But at the end of the day, right? In case that doesn't happen in your lifetime, because it may or may not, you can still make a choice. You are more powerful than you realize. That is how I want to end this. Thank you so much. I got so pumped there because I'm just really passionate about this subject, if you can't tell. So anyway, thank you guys for listening. And no, money is not the root of all evil. Give yourself permission to pursue it. And I hope that you do beautiful things with it. Okay? Bye for now.